Hello and welcome to our daily video. Today's video is on the St. George Continuation School that operated from 1914 to 1958. It is presented by Brant Museum and Archives in honor of Museum Month 2021. Before continuation schools, it was common for schools to have 50 plus students in one classroom with only one principal teaching 10 grades. It was especially problematic in rural areas. To alleviate this problem, continuation schools were introduced to provide quality secondary education to rural students. Continuation schools allowed for many rural students to continue their education when in most situations that would not have been possible after writing their entrance exams. With poor infrastructure and transportation available, many rural students were unable to receive the same quality secondary education their counterparts in the city would be receiving. The school benefited all students and prepared them for university as well as careers in teaching and life on the farm. St. George Continuation School began to form in the spring of 1914 when the public school inspector, Mr. T.W. Standing, told the St. George Public School Board that several public school sections in the area could combine and form a singular continuation school board. The school board would offer secondary education to rural students in the area. After multiple meetings with the surrounding township school boards, 4 school boards decided to join: Papples, McLean's, Bruce's, and St. George. The school would open September 1st, 1914, with 1 principal and assistant to do the teaching and 24 students, 12 first years, 6 second years, and 6 third years. Student attendance quickly rose to 30 students during the first half of the school year. Cost of the school was covered partially by a grant from the Department of Education and the rest by the participating townships. Students from outside of the participating townships were required to pay $12 a year. Here we have an image of the agreement that was signed by all the public school boards. In January 1918, plans for a new building began to take shape during a board meeting. The continuation school was outgrowing its current accommodations in the St. George Public School building. Unable to afford the construction of a new building, the continuation school would acquire the whole second floor of the public school and rent the upstairs of Mr. J.A. Bannister's furniture store. The construction of the new building was finally commissioned in March 1924 after the public school started asking for its rooms back because they were also outgrowing their limited accommodations in their building. The new building opened in 1925, but due to costs, work continued to be done on the building for the next several years. When the school first opened, it started off as a grade C continuation school, but quickly rose to grade B. By 1929, the school became a full grade A continuation school. This meant that the school could have at least 4 forms, 1 to 4, or as we know it, grades 9 to 12. The school could now also offer Form 5 or grade 13 with a qualified university-educated teacher. When St. George Continuation School first opened, it taught botany, zoology, chemistry, physics, algebra, arithmetic, English literature, composition, and history. A few students would also take Latin, French, and German. By 1931, agriculture and music was also being taught. In September 1939, the Ontario curriculum was revised and forms 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 became grades 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. In 1950, classes included English, history, guidance, math, geography, art, agricultural science, French, Latin, physics, chemistry, and additional math classes were being offered to the older grades. In 1955, with the growing costs of operations and the declining student population, discussions of the continuation school's future began. In June 1958, St. George Continuation School ended its last school year. The board would meet for the final time the following year in May after finalizing all arrangements, issues, and deficits. Not only was it more economical for taxpayers, but it was also more beneficial for the students. With the better infrastructure, transportation, and modern busing, rural students were able to attend secondary schools in larger areas that had better education and opportunities available for them. Here is the resolution document that states the dissolution of the school. The St. George Continuation School building still stands at 39 Beverly Street West in St. George, with the new St. George German School directly behind it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Stay tuned tomorrow for our new daily video on the Central School, as well as our Artifact of the Day and tomorrow's Heritage Minutes. Thank you again, and see you all soon. Bye for now.